Hi everyone, Chris here from Drop It TV. Welcome back to another episode of Leeds Talk. Now, before I get into anything today, I just want to go over the couple of things that have happened in the last week. The most important one, of course, being the departure of Giuseppe Bellusci. I'm so happy he's gone. I'm sure everyone is. He was a hated figure at the club. And with good reason. I mean, he'd done alright sometimes, but to be honest, he was just a liability most of the time. He got a lot of cards, like yellow cards and plenty of red cards. And I got to admit, he probably deserved a lot more cards than he actually got, because he was quite ruthless sometimes and he didn't really seem to be a good player. And on top of all the cards he got, he seemed to score a lot of own goals. And one of the worst things he did was that he divided the dressing room. And we can forgive players that aren't, you know, fantastic. I mean, we've had a lot of them over the years, but if they put their heart and soul into the club, I think we can forgive them. And then that guy, he didn't. Just divided everyone and he caused a lot of problems. And I think that's one of the reasons why we didn't do very well in the seasons where he was playing for us. He's just sloppy, all round sloppy. Sloppy player, sloppy Giuseppe. He makes a fucking good pizza, but when it comes to putting balls into his own net, he's a master at that, as is shown with this replay right here. This last week's been like the great Italian departure. We've obviously had Silvestri that's left as well. And look at it, Silvestri was really good. I actually personally really liked him. He wasn't the best goalkeeper, but he was someone that always seemed to try his best. And obviously last season he was on the bench for most of it because we had Rob Green come in that was obviously a little bit better. And Silvestri come in, but he's still done really well in the cup games, and that just shows that he has got a lot of quality. And I do wish him well in Hellas Verona. He's obviously secured a nice Serie A position there, which is great. I mean, he's actually sort of moved up in a way. He's moved up to the top league in his home country. So best of luck to him. I hope Silvestri does well then. I'm sure he will. On top of those two leaving, we've had Pennington come in. Matthew Pennington from Everton. He's only about 22 years old, this kid, and he seems to be a really good player. Obviously, he hadn't had a lot of experience in the first team yet. He's just sort of breaking in Everton. Hasn't quite made it, so they're looking to loan him out. But everywhere he has been loaned out, he's done really, really well. And he's in corners, for example, he's towered above defences and put the ball into the net. And he scored against Liverpool as well. And I think that just shows that he has got a lot of potential. Obviously, we just had that friendly game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. And he seemed really composed on the ball and really comfortable. And for a player of his age, and obviously he's not unbelievably young now. I mean, look, he's getting to the stage now in his career where he really needs to start breaking into the first team and making it. This is the perfect place for him to do that, and he's just shown against a top-class opposition, and we'll get into them in a minute, but a top-class opposition in that friendly that he did seem very comfortable on the ball. And we do need a good player to be coming in at centre-back. At the moment, we've only got a couple of players in that position, so it's great that we've got someone that can come in of his calibre, and I hope he has a very fruitful year with us. And the Austria tour seems like it's been going really well. I mean, just look here, they've been whitewater river rafting, and I've actually done this myself, and it's amazing. It's a really, you have to work together, and I do think that's a great team bonding session, and it is actually really dangerous as well. And the river they were on, it looked like it was really fast, like, because they have different level of rapids. I think it's like level 2, 3, 4. I think when it gets above 4, it gets to be really dangerous. That could have been a level 4, which is like an extreme sort of sport. And it looks like they fell out a few times as well. And it does show that, look, football players, I mean, they get paid quite a lot of money, as we know, and we expect them to be supermen. You know, we expect them to go out there and do everything we want them to do and perform amazingly for us. It's cool to see these pictures because it just shows they're human. They're just human, they've fallen out, they're trying to breathe like that. They're just like us. They just get paid a fuckload more than us. And they get to kick a ball around once a week. Let's hope no one got an injury on this trip. It does look like there was a couple of people that were like that. And also Thomas Christiansen looked like he was struggling to breathe, and we really don't want another new manager. Come on, let's hope everyone survives this and gets out. Sometimes people do get hurt doing river rafting. It did take a little bit of a risk there, but it's all worked out, so happy days. Even the training in Austria looks like it's going well. Rob Green looks like he's pulled off a cracking save here. It's unclear whether he will be actually playing a lot in this next coming season. There was rumours in the last week that he was supposed to be leaving the club. I mean, I'm not sure if you've heard that or if that's even true. So it'll be unclear what the future is for him, whether he's more of a bench player now because he's a bit older, or is he going to be coming in as the first goalkeeper again. It's hard to say. It does look like he's still got it in him, and we all know he has because he played really well last season, and I do hope that he gets some game time in the coming season. And over this last week, since the previous episode, we've had a couple of friendlies. We had a very hastily arranged friendly game against Bursaspor, and we lost 3-0. As I said to a couple of fans who private messaged me about this, I just think it's yeah, it was hastily arranged, and I think that's one of the probably the reason why we left. It doesn't look like we played very well, and it's because probably no one was ready. There wasn't a lot of preparation for the game, so I wouldn't read into that one too much. And I think it just shows because the next friendly game we had against Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
It looks like we prepared very well for them, and I just want to point out that this team finished 9th in the Bundesliga last year, right? That's a pretty solid side, and don't forget they're a Champions League team. They were in the same Champions League group as Barcelona, Manchester City and Celtic. They lost a couple of games like by a fair margin, but most of the other games were quite close, like 2-1, or there was a draw against Manchester City. They obviously beat Celtic 1 and drew 1, but Celtic are shite. It just shows Mönchengladbach is a team that's well organised and has done very well. And Leeds have gone in there and absolutely dominated it from the beginning. And obviously they did come back eventually and they scored a very nice free kick. I mean, there wasn't a lot that Leeds could have done about that. It was just a beautiful kick. Well, for the first half of the game, it looked like Leeds were in a lot of control. And I thought that was really good. The tempo, the teamwork, and Luke Ayling scored, which I thought was a very good goal, and that's his first goal in a Leeds shirt, which is quite surprising, because he does seem to get forward quite a lot. But he's a creator, and he created a goal, and it was a very nice bit of a 1-2 there between Kemar Roof and Luke Ayling, and Luke Ayling just slotted it in, and as the commentator rightfully said, it was a goal that Chris would have been proud of. But more importantly, it wasn't so much the goals that impressed me, it was more the teamwork. And considering that these players some of them are new and they haven't really played together before, they look like they've been playing together for a long time. And I thought that was a very positive sign for the coming season. I just realised this went to sleep. Don't go to sleep. Alioski looked like he was doing really well as well, and I like to see him on the ball. He does look exciting. He looks like he's a bit of a dangerous player. Like I said last episode, I think Alioski is going to be a key player for us moving forward, and he did show signs of that in that game. And at the time of recording this video, we're actually just playing Eibar, and we're already 3-0 down at half time, so I'll get into that in the next episode of Leeds Talk. That'll be a juicy one to pick apart. And it's been great. These videos have been getting a lot of comments and interaction, and I think that's great, and I hope that continues, and thank you for that. So every episode now I'm going to just point out a couple of comments that have been made that are quite funny, and this week we had Dan Sinnott and Clive Bindley, and they were having a bit of an argument in the comment section. Dan is a Borough fan, and I know we're bigger than Borough, that's obvious. He's having a bit of dig at us, saying, oh, you spent £10 million plus, so you might actually reach the top half now. Clive quite rightly pointed out that we reached the top half last season when we didn't spend much money, so well done, Clive. You did point out to him. Dan is a typical Borough fan. He's bitter about Leeds doing well, I think. And obviously he's got Gary Monk and he's trying to rub it in. But to be fair, we don't care about Gary Monk. All we care about now is Thomas Christiansen, and obviously we have the man, and he seems to be doing really well so far, so let's just continue on with that. Dan reckons we'll never see the Prem again. Look, Dan, you can say whatever you want. The truth is, Leeds will reach the Prem again, and I have a funny feeling it could be within the next 1 to 2 years, and that definitely seems to be the direction of the club. Andrea definitely wants Leeds to be promoted as soon as possible. There's nothing holding us back now. Everything's in place. We've bought the ground, we've got the ownership, we've got the structure, we've got the directors, we've got the coaching team, we've got the players. It's just about putting the performances on the pitch now. So can we do it? Fuck yeah. It's all about optimism. It's all about us pushing for that place, getting back our rightful place in the English football stratosphere. And let's be fair, that's exactly where we belong. And doesn't matter what all these other fans say, they can take the piss all they want, but the truth is, everyone wants to see Leeds back in the Premier League. I hear about it all the time, and I'm sure you do too. Every club says it, apart from maybe Manchester United fans, but who cares about them? Everyone wants us back there, and we will get there. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get a little bit itchy feet now. I do love the summertime, but it is really boring because there isn't really any football going on. We've only got to wait 2 more weeks until the Bolton away game, and if we can kick that off with a win, it's just going to be great, isn't it? The thing is that about the beginning of the season is if you don't get maximum points straight away, it looks like you're really shit because you're right at the bottom of the table, but actually there's only a few points in it. But it'd be good if we get a good win with a high goal difference, because then we'll be right up the top where we should be. So that's it for today. If you do like these videos, then do please leave a like, comment and share it with all the Leeds fans you know. It does mean a lot. Let's all march on together, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Stand up.